I love Stranger Things. I love it so very much that in hype for the final season, I went online and bought this sweet Stranger Things themed Dustin hat. But as you can obviously see, it doesn't fit properly on my head. It's too big at the front. It just doesn't look good. And I'm a hat guy. So hats usually look pretty, they look okay on me. They hide what they need to hide. But this one, it just doesn't fit well. I don't feel good wearing it. I don't want to go outside wearing it. And honestly, I might never have been more disappointed and underwhelmed with a hat or with Stranger Things related stuff. And I would love to say that that is the case now, having seen Stranger Things Season 5 Part 2. But sadly, that is not the case. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't hate these 3 episodes of Stranger Things by any means. I really do just adore this world and particularly these characters. I think the strength of the show has always been the characters over the actual plot. There are moments with these characters that feels like we've been building up to it and getting to these moments that were so exciting and emotionally devastating and powerful and fantastic, and it finally felt like this weight was off my shoulders, oh okay, all this kind of stuff I wasn't super keen on in the first 4 episodes of season 5, oh man did they pay off in this. Some of the moments in this are so good, it actually kind of annoyed me how good they were because I was so checked out for so much outside of those moments, particularly the scene with Nancy and Jonathan, the non-engagement speech and scene together. That whole scene was so good, and we needed that for those 2 characters. I was so frustrated with the idea of him proposing. I was so frustrated with the whole, there's still a love triangle thing with her, Jonathan and Steve. Didn't we come past this in season 4? Hadn't we all come to realizations about how all of this was going to work? And then the first 4 episodes felt like it was taking them back to season 1 territory, which didn't feel necessary. Felt like we were just retreading water and just kind of spinning our wheels. Whereas then finally they have this moment together that was utterly devastating, and it was so good. And I just wish I hadn't watched 88 minutes or the 100 minutes of TV before that, where I was just meh, these episodes, man, they just didn't hook me. I didn't lock in. I was just, so hyped, so primed, so ready. Didn't love part 1, but I mixed bag, but pretty, way more positive than negative. But just some elements where I'm we'll see how it goes. But, early days, all set up. Let's see how it goes. This just never seemed to find its feet. It just kept, the pacing felt very strange. The characterization of some of the characters was really weird. The focus on some characters, newer characters, over old legacy characters that we love and want to spend the time with. Just strange choice of time. It felt like stuff was very repetitive at times. There's a moment where there's a bunch of demigorgons running about a hospital, and I'm wow, we're redoing season 2. I mean, I love Stranger Things, but if we're remaking season 2, it's okay, aren't I the only person that likes season 2? What are we doing here? Another thing I did not like in the first 4 episodes that really worked in this one was Steve and Dustin. Obviously the best 2 characters in the show. Characters I love, I'm sure you absolutely love. Hate how much they didn't like each other in the first couple of episodes. They just hated each other so much. It was just so painful. It felt unnecessary. It felt like forced conflict. They didn't need this. We've got villains. We've got Vecna. We've got all these other things going on. But they, for some reason, felt like they needed to add forced conflict. So they're butting heads the whole time. But finally, we get that moment where Dustin's just I can't have my other best friend die. And it's so good. It's just such a... And it just... Whoosh, it comes out of nowhere. It's 3 minutes. It's just bam. There we go. And we've got those scenes, and the end of these 3 episodes ends with Will's big announcement to everyone, and it's just emotional. It's big. It's powerful. It's been building for so very long. And I just think with all of this stuff, and we've got lore stuff going on about what the Upside Down is, which I don't love, but I think if we cut half of these 3.5 hours, and it was just 1.5 hour, 1 episode, or 2 45-minute episodes, God, we've got a good part 2. But we don't. there's so much baggage and it takes so long to get to these juicy, great scenes with the characters we love. Because we're spending all this time with Vecna's Mind Palace dream world where it's like, oh, look, kids, we're all having fun. And Holly's the main character of Stranger Things now for some fucking goddamn reason. And like, she's fine. And the actress is great. But like, I don't care. Because I'm watching Stranger Things, the show about Mike and Lucas. Do you remember them? If you watched these 3 episodes and you hadn't watched the rest of the show recently, you fucking wouldn't. They're just like not given the juice, not given the stuff, and it feels so frustrating. Do you remember in season 1 when this show literally blew all our minds away? Do you guys actually remember who the main character was? Because the show kind of forgot. Because it was Joyce. Winona Ryder. And it's barely a character anymore. And it's like, instead we're focusing on Holly. Unnecessary. Frustrating, just underwhelming, disappointing story choices. It looks great, the score's good, but man, it's just like the only scene I remember from her that I even want to think about because it's so bafflingly silly and dumb and is very much them going, oh, people love season 4 so very much, what do we do? What if Running Up That Hill plays again, but instead of one girl running towards a big CGI portal in a fire doomed place and there's spikes pointing out of the ground. 2 girls running different directions. Why? Shut up. It's just she's just gonna be like, believe in yourself or whatever. Come on, man. I thought we were better than this. I know Stranger Things is better than this, and it's just like, yeah. I started this review being like, I'm just a little underwhelmed and mildly disappointed. No, I'm like pretty disappointed. I think these are easily the 3 worst episodes of the show. I don't think the finale is going to be bad. I kind of have a feeling they've really like saved up the trauma and the tragedy and the bittersweetness that I expect from this finale for this big 2-hour finale. Having it in these 4 blocks has not helped. I've been a big proprietor of like hating how Stranger Things does it, how Netflix does their shows. I really do think Prime has the best thing, even though they've thrown that out the window for Fallout. 3 episodes to get you reinitiated into the world, and then weekly. And they usually have 8 episodes for the shows that I've watched. So Stranger Things as 8, release the first 3, and then weekly, not wait a month or whatever, weekly after that, 1, then the finale. And you build up that excitement and that joy rather than being like, oh shit, it's Stranger Things Day. And you like push all your family and friends out of your house on Christmas Day, you turn on Stranger Things, and then you watch these 3 episodes in which essentially nothing happens. And you go, wow, there was 3 great scenes. And in total, that was about 20 minutes. The Upside Down isn't the Upside Down. Actually, you know how you thought it was a parallel dimension of evilness and it was all spooky and scary? Imagine our world, but spooky and scary. And you can imagine, what if my bedroom was all spooky and scary and vines everywhere? No, it's some kind of portal to another dimension that we have no emotional connection to. And now we've got to kill that dimension where everything actually came from, that we saw for 17 seconds in season 4 and we don't care about. Now that's the end game. And everything we've been watching that is the main evil place, the source of the whole show's evil, it's just like a different thing. It's just like this thing that we've decided to change entirely. Feels like such a classic retcon. A show that had a simple, tight, beautiful, succinctly simple idea. What if a little boy went to a parallel dimension that was the upside down version of our world where everything's spooky and scary? It's all blue and the lightning is red. And there's monsters. Clean, simple, tasty, beautiful. It doesn't have to be overly complex. It doesn't have to be rich, complex, big, epic, grand. And they're like, we gotta be big. Final season, season 5. Gotta be big, brother. No, you fucking don't. By going big, you make it feel less. And it feels overly convoluted and silly now, where I'm like, we've spent so much time in this strange portal dimension. This is really just a go-between. And now they're going to crash the other thing between the other thing. I'm like, oh, like every third Marvel movie for the last 15 years, that's the end game. Henry just wants to smash his new world that we just heard about into our world. Cool, man. That's so underwhelming. That's so unexciting, uninteresting. And sure, there can be more stuff in the final episode where they go, the Mind Flayer's actually behind it all, and he's an anti-hero, and he's trying to do this or that or something, and maybe there's going to be time travel and portals, and I've heard a bunch of Reddit theories. Yes, I've heard them all. At this point, I'm just like, I just miss that simple, succinct, nice show. And even when season 4 got so big, adding Henry, it still felt like we were telling this little story. This little, beautiful, tight story. Whereas now it feels like they're trying to be bigger, but it's not bigger. It's just like a bunch of... Ugh. Yeah, I wish I had words for it, but it just feels like they just went... Ugh, and they just retcon their beautiful, simple season 1 idea to be bigger than it ever was meant to be. So it doesn't, like, fit properly. Like, it doesn't go... Oh. It's not like a final jigsaw piece is put into place and you're like, oh, fuck me, that's awesome. They've just jammed a jigsaw piece in by cutting the edges to fit. And for me, that's not satisfying. That is disappointing and underwhelming. I think the final episode will change my mind because it will just be so big and there'll be so much going on because nothing happened. So surely something's going to happen because they kept saying, we didn't pull a Game of Thrones. Yet when I was watching this, I kept being like, wow. The CGI, the visual effects in these 3 episodes are some of the most mind-boggling, exceptional, stunning, incredible CGI visual effects I've ever seen in anything. They are so much better than everything else I'm seeing. It reminded me very much of Game of Thrones Season 8 or Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Not a compliment. Another thing that I think is probably more of a personal thing, and I imagine a lot of people don't care about, and they want that hope and they want that not scary, spooky deathness of it all. But personally, not killing Max felt like a coward move. It felt like they were trying to be a dark, mature show, but like they don't want to commit to that. And I hate how she's been handled in this season. I find it so underwhelming. Not for a single second did I think she wouldn't come back to life and just be totally fine. And sure, she's in a wheelchair, but like she's totally fine. And it completely takes away any sense of stakes or drama or any sense that anybody can die. And I don't feel anything anymore because it's like she just came back to life and she was totally fine. And it's like, I just don't understand. It just felt like nothing. And the whole thing was so that she could spend time in Vecna's mind palace with Holly for like 5 hours just running about the forest. And I'm just like, I really hated all of that. I just hate that they can't commit to actually killing characters, and that really undermines all of the stakes and the drama and the tension that they're spending so long pretending exists. But it doesn't exist, because they will not kill characters. And now we've got to the finale, they'll probably kill Steve or Eleven or someone big and go, no, we did, we had the balls. No, you fucking didn't. Just like Game of Thrones in the final season, you don't have the balls, you're not killing the characters when you need to create the stakes. You can't kill them in the last 5 minutes of the show and be like, see, we had the balls. It's like, no, not good enough. Too late. The wall up of like, I emotionally kind of invest in a scene when I know no one's going to die. Then if someone dies, I'll just go, oh, I guess that was the one time I was wrong. No stakes, no drama anymore. It's too self-serious. It's not fun and light anymore. The scene with Nancy and Jonathan was fantastic. The worst 3 episodes of the show. Easily. Sorry. Fuck. I forgot that episode that I literally don't watch on a rewatch. The Lost Sister. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th worst episodes of the show. She was in these episodes. I have literally nothing to say about her. I couldn't care less. I really wish she'd been killed by Vecna immediately after being reintroduced to show that he could actually kill a character. But he can't because he's a Voldemort. And he's just going to spend 10 years trying to kill a bunch of children. And he took so long to kill any of them and failed that they are now grown adults that are somehow older than me, even though they were younger when we started. How did that happen? And I'm very old, so that is saying quite a fucking lot. I think a massive issue now that we've had 7 of the 8 episodes of season 5 is that every season had a unique new villain, whereas season 5 is just like Vecna again. And I feel like because season 4 works so very well, I think it's easily the best season. It works so well because you had Vecna, but you also had Henry dealing with Eleven in the flashbacks, in the mind bath thing, whatever was going on. So you're able to have the actor do like all these like, oh, I'm Vecna and my skin's crawling and I'm all like, oh, Max, and doing all that Vecna shit. But you've also got the actor without the makeup doing his thing. And you're able to have a lot of fun doing both. And the actor did really well. And it really does feel like the success of season 4. And I feel to blame because I didn't post or comment anywhere online, but I thought in my head, that's the best season. And so the Duffer Brothers obviously read my mind and went, oh my god, this one fucking idiot loves season 4 more than 2 of his 3 children. That's super cool. Let's do exactly that again. Do we have any more ideas? Should we maybe have just had 2 more episodes to end season 4? Should we maybe have just killed Vecna when we shot him 1,400 times in season 4 and ended the show? Outside of all the Will stuff this season, I might argue, maybe? But yeah, so they've just done season 4 again, but like, there's no possible, logical, interesting, fascinating, compelling reason to have him be Henry. Unless he has some kind of dream mind palace where he tricks children by being an absolute creepy pedophile fucking weirdo. And he's like, look at me with my little creepy hat. Come and listen to me, little children. And it's like, come on, man. Like, how are all these children just buying this guy? He's so creepy. He's so obviously evil. And I know he's evil. But I find it so frustrating. Nothing about his performance makes me go, man, if I was a child, I think I'd be bought by this. Like, that's a good villain. If you could convince me that he's convincing these children, maybe it would work. But it just, all I see is we wanted to replicate what worked about season 4, Vecna and Henry, and do that. We want to do that again. Because we don't have ideas. We're out of juice. And I'm sorry, Duffer Brothers, but you're fucking out of juice. And I did not want to say that in the first 4 episodes. Because Max, not killing Max was the worst thing in season 4, and probably the worst thing the show did. Just shows you have no balls, you're cowards, and you want to make it a darker, mature show and get rid of all the lightheartedness, but you don't want to commit to being a dark, mature show and actually kill anyone that matters. Which is fine. But then you can't be a dark, mature show. Just still have fun with the show. The show's not as fun anymore. It's so mean and sad all the time. Even the best 2 characters, Dustin and Steve, just fighting all the time. Even though some of the best stuff in this is them reconciling, that's more of just a relief that they're not going to have a sook and yell at each other for no reason because it's all dark and mature. That's not dark and mature. That's just creating fake conflict, forced conflict. I hate to say this. It frustrates me so much because it's like, this could be the best season. You just got to trim so much of the stuff out to really condense it and make it tighter and more succinct. You don't need Holly this season. You don't need Henry, Mr. What's-His-Face. I think that's literally what he's called or whatever. It could just be Vecna as a big bad and he's got big armor plate now and stuff. Like, you could just do that. That would be enough. You've got the army, you've got Vecna. Everyone doesn't need to be squabbling all the time, yet you've still created all this forced drama. And by doing this and by adding so much stuff and focusing on all these characters, you lose sight of what we love about this show. Hopper, Joyce, Mike, Lucas. Barely characters. Like, I mildly understand why Murray's not a main character anymore. Even though I love the progression of seeing season 1, he's not in it. Season 2, 1 episode. Season 3, minor, maybe, almost a main. Season 4, main character. Season 5, minor. And do you know when that would work? When you've brought you've expanded the show and then you've brought it right back down to what matters. Mike, Elle, Hopper, Joyce. But instead they've cut all these things like Murray and all these great characters they've made you love over years, a decade of storytelling, and they've gone, forget about Murray. He's barely going to be in it. Instead, now you love Holly. No, Duffer Brothers, I don't. And I'm sorry, I keep shitting on this character. The actress is fine. I really hate to shit on this child actress girl. But the character, she just speaks to what is not working about this show. Because she's part of the plot that's not working. She's part of the entire storyline that's not working. That makes this all feel like a slog to get through. And I also feel like this review is becoming a bit of a slog. Because I keep feeling like I'm repeating myself. So in conclusion, I didn't love it. One might be so dramatic to say, I didn't like it. Like it all. But then again, There was that scene where the bathroom was melting for some reason. And they're like, I don't want to marry you. And I'm like, that's good stuff. I really just wish maybe I'd seen that clip on YouTube and someone went, now ready for the finale? And I would go, hell yeah. Whereas I had to watch 3.5 hours of stuff that wasn't that scene. And yeah, and it's like Will the Sorcerer. Remember how for the last month we're all talking about Will the Sorcerer? Where he's like, his eyes go white. Like, remember that? Did we not all expect that to happen like 5 more times? I remember thinking, I can't believe they've done what Game of Thrones didn't do with Bran. They finally made him the character we've all been waiting for him to become. And now it's like, this feels pretty much like Bran in Game of Thrones, where it's like, what? I thought he would do something. He's not going to do anything? He's just going to kind of stand about and cry? I'm dangerously close to not being excited to watching the finale of one of my top 5 favorite shows ever. And I think that is worrying. Yeah, that's all right. I don't know. I would love to know what people think. Big yays, big nays, or for the first time on the internet, a nuanced opinion.